Okay, time to get real. 2016 was not the best year for me. So for the past like 3 or 4 years, I've been working as a freelance animator and character designer. And the thing they don't tell you when you're in school is that you're going to go through periods of unemployment. Like that's just the nature of the industry, just because everything is so project-based. And people are able to make a living off of it by save up enough to, you know, have a cushion so that when you go on hiatus, you know, you have enough saved up so that you don't like totally lose your mind. But I had also been lucky enough to be consistently getting work. But then 2016, man, was just the year where it just got like increasingly harder. It was partly, you know, not enough jobs available. I was more often without a job than I was with a job. And so I started thinking like, is this really the lifestyle that I want? So just all those things sort of just like piled on, just like being employed, not really being cool with like how the industry is. And again, this is all just like my personal experience and my personal feelings. Like I discovered this about myself that like I just didn't like it. I had just recently moved in with my boyfriend and he was like sweet enough to front my rent for me, so until like, you know, I got back on my feet. And that made me super nervous because I was like, well, what if I don't for years, like, or never? And then I'm just like in debt to you forever. But he was very supportive and it was great. While my relationship was growing, my career didn't feel the same. You know, I would just be home all day and just completely unmotivated to do anything. I had sunk into this pretty deep depression where I wouldn't wake up until like noon. I just like didn't know what to do with myself because I was so crippled by the thought of being such a failure. Like I felt like I failed. I failed. And it just made it worse because like my boyfriend has a job that he loves. He's like a band that he loves, a dope ass girlfriend. And like he, you know, like everything was like going great for him. And it sounds awful, but like it was actually kind of hard for me to be happy for anyone because I was so miserable. And I know I'm not the only person who's ever felt that way. And I've hated feeling that way because it's like, that's really selfish. Like, I don't want anyone else to be happy because I'm miserable. Like that's ridiculous. Like I didn't even want to draw at all. I don't want to hang out with anybody. Like that was the worst, where, you know, like if there was like friends party or like people even just like simply hanging out, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be around people because, you know, the first thing they ask is, oh, what are you working on nowadays? Or like, hey, what, you know, how are you? What am I going to say? Like, I'm miserable. I like cry every day and think about how I failed. You know, like no one wants to hear that. And then also like I didn't want to talk about it either. So I was like, you know what? I think I prefer being home and just hanging out with my dogs who have no idea about any of this, and they still love me, so it's great. But it wasn't until maybe like, I don't remember, it might have been like a month or two had passed. I met up with my good friend Jess. Like how we do this like at the end of the night when we both are just like, what? Last year we were both like, were we both unemployed?
Yeah, I think we were unemployed or kind of between jobs.
Yeah, and so like we met up and then we were just like talking about like our feelings and shit, and then like your friend was
having a random party and she was like, come, and it's a potluck, but we're also sharing whatever we've been working on creatively. We were super inspired by all these people sharing their creative things, like singing songs and sharing videos and characters that they have come up with and all these cool things. And we were so in the place,
so moved.
We were so moved that we were like, we have to do this.
Yeah, when we did the first crafty hour, it was sort of like a way for us to force us to do something creative, even though it's like, you know what, like, hey, even though we're not going to get paid for something, like, we both know that we like creating stuff. Let's do something. Let's not fucking sit around being all sad, just like wasting our time. Like, let's actually like make stuff and we have time for it.
Do the thing that we want to do. There's nothing stopping us from doing what we want to do. It doesn't matter who watches it or who pays us for it. It just matters that we're creating.
That
was important.
The first little project we did together was the music video thing, which was like super fun.
And I think we found that we work well together.
Yeah.
So it's rare when you find that. You find someone you can work with that way. Welcome to the third installment of Crafty Hour. A lot of you have been here before.
So this first one is about how, like if you've ever been like drunk called by the person you're like dating and they're all like, oh yeah, like I'm in love with you, and then like the next day they're like, I don't remember any of that. So that's what it's about. Oh, that I say before tomorrow when your words will not be wasted on my sober ear. I forgot that you must be out of your mind to admit that you want me here. That's it.
Like the first time I showed photography, the second time I did illustration. So this time, Crafty Hour snuck up on me, so I did something right before I came here. How about we just show the image and see if you can figure what it's about?
You made that?
Yeah.
Some lama demon lama you human I'm human. What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman elevator and I made her up so that anything you say is ricocheted off of me. They look good to you. I'm never saying more than demonstrating how.
But I'm not as helpless as I seem. Wanna wait around till you decide you need me. And I know what you want. And I know what you wanna do. Just hang on a little longer, won't you? Just hang on a little longer, won't you?
Let's see. How do you think how do you think doing Crafty Hour has changed us?
For me, it has given me a reason to continue to pursue projects that I'm not necessarily given an assignment for or being paid to do. It's just something I want to do. It's purely what I want to do. Purely how I want to grow creatively. We set a date and we decide that we're going to do Crafty Hour on a certain date. And then we go, okay, we have a month or 2 months to work towards this. And I know that that's coming. So I have that time to prepare something I want to present. And without that, I wouldn't do it.
Because it's like a deadline.
It's a deadline because you get, we all work and we have different things. So you don't always get the time to pursue your passion projects, but that's really what makes us sane.
And like, seriously, like no joke, like once we started doing that, like that's when shit changed.
Oh my God, I haven't thought about it that way.
Are you kidding me?
So true.
Yeah, like for real. Like that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
It's like we changed our attitude about our situation. We have all this time in the world.
You make it. You do the things you want to do and everything else will follow it. After will fall into line.
It's like I feel like so many people say that, but like it really is true. Like that has like in every like major like phase of my life, I feel like when I really was like focused on what I wanted, it fucking happened, dude. Yeah, but like I like that this is like my goal for it is to be just like the thing that happens like
I definitely
every 2 months or
want to keep going. Like, and we were just talking about it earlier that we're busy, we have jobs and we have lives and everything else. So it's easy to be like, oh, we're too busy. Like, let's cancel Crafty Hour. But I'm super glad that we haven't done that to date because it's important. Like, if we don't carve out that time, we'll never get that fulfillment. And then every time that we do it and we're done, I feel super fulfilled. I'm super excited and expired.
Oh my God, look at how fucking cute this tiny cat is. How small.
Look at
how compared.
I know, hand for scale.
Look how small this cat is.
The tiniest cat.
She's so small. She's 13 and she looks great.
She looks great.
And she looks great.
Bella, what's your secret?
I'm gonna need them to sign some release forms. So if you feel the same way that we are, like if you feel like there's something lacking in your life, we super recommend that. Like, hey, try doing Crafty Hour. Just like call up all your buds. Every time we've done this, there's always people who are like, I don't like what? And then when they get here, they're like, oh, we get it. And then they like share something. So it's definitely something that's like you have to do to understand.
Because I feel like people are intimidated because you're vulnerable until they see other people do it, and then they realize like, oh my gosh, like this is so fun, it's such a safe place, and I'm very encouraged to want to learn the thing that I've been wanting to learn, and I want to share with people so I can either get feedback or just get better or just have a forum to look forward to so I can practice whatever thing that I've been wanting to learn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm proud of us.
You want to cry?
I love you, Jen.
Me too.
Okay, I guess that's it.